So you've decided you're ready to learn how to use Canva to create some graphic designs for either your business, personal use, whatever it may be. And I'm here to show you the ins and outs of Canva, starting from the absolute basics and going all the way up to the extremes. My name is Emily. I'm a marketing manager for a radio and digital advertising company, and I use Canva basically every single day in my job to create all sorts of designs. And I've been making short form content over on my TikTok at Emily in Wichita, and I've gotten a ton of requests to do some more in-depth videos on the ins and outs of Canva, which is exactly what I'm starting today. Canva is honestly one of my favorite websites that I use for work, and I am so excited to share more about Canva with all of you. So let's just get on into it. When you first log into Canva, this is what it's going to look like. I personally choose to use the desktop app of Canva. I think it's much more user-friendly than the website. They are definitely similar. My biggest difference of the desktop app is that when you create new documents, it opens in tabs within the app rather than extra internet tabs on your browser. So I'm basically just going to go through the absolute basics of Canva right now. I'm going to have multiple different parts of this series where I show you guys everything I know about Canva. This is going to be the most basic level, talking nitty-gritty details. I personally pay for Canva Pro, so I'm going to be going through all of the features, including Canva Pro. You'll see here this little crown feature. If it has a crown, just know that that is a pro feature, and if you're only planning on doing a free account, that's not going to be applicable to you. So first thing we have here on the very top bar is your settings. Once you click that, it's going to open your account and you can go into all of that information. Next, you've got the little notification bell, so anytime somebody sends you a design to look at, or if you have within your brand controls, if you have it set up to where people have to get designs approved, you'll get notifications there. We've got the create a design button where you can then choose a size, or you can do a custom size and type your own dimensions in by either pixel, inches, millimeters, or centimeters. And then we've got your little circles up here. So if you're on multiple teams, you can switch to multiple teams. I've got the MyTown Media team, which is the company that I work for, that I use their Canva account. I do have a personal account that I pay for pro there as well. Sometimes I just don't remember to switch back and forth from my personal to my pro, but you can swap over to your other teams and your designs will be, like if I make a design in this team, it stays here. If I make a design in my other team, it stays here. They don't like cross. You can also obviously sign out, go to your settings, and get help. You can also add a little profile picture if you would like. Then over here we've got, again, that same thing where you can switch to another team. It's just in a different spot. Home is where you're going to start your Canva journey. So you can search your content or Canvas. I have kind of a mix of how I organize my designs. I do put every single design in a folder. As you can see here, I've got a bunch of different folder names, and every design that I make lives in a folder. So I will either go to that folder to find the design, which I'll show you how to do here in a bit, or I will come up here to search it and switch to my projects and type what I'm looking for and pull it up that way. You can also then search templates on here. So if you want a business plan template, it's going to pop up with these suggested templates at the bottom, or you can select one of them and it's going to open a bunch of business plan templates or whatever you searched. You do also have some smaller options. So there's the For You section where they recommend multiple things. Docs and whiteboards are Canva's newest features, so they are obviously automatically going to push those. And then I do a lot of social media stuff, so I do a lot of Instagram story, Instagram post, Facebook post. I do a lot of proposals, and I make Facebook covers pretty regularly. So those are kind of my most frequent ones, which is why they are the For Me section. Then we've got our docs. Like I said, this is Canva's newest thing, so they are definitely trying to push this a lot right now. There are doc templates, or you can start a doc from scratch. You can also take your docs to a deck, which is pretty cool. I've got a whole TikTok series. I believe it's 3 videos on my TikTok just talking about Canva docs. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with them, so go check that out, or I'll make a video here eventually. We've got whiteboards. I personally don't understand whiteboards. I guess my line of work, I just don't need them. They're not very user-friendly for me. So I don't work with these a lot, but I'm sure they can be super useful in the correct setting. Then we've got presentations, make a lot of decks, I do a lot of proposals for clients, so this is something that I'm very familiar with. Then we've got social media, so you can switch to popular Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn, and they're all going to be like the correct sizes for you when you click on those designs, which is super handy. Then you've got your videos, regular like horizontal video, mobile vertical video, a Facebook video, Instagram Reels, TikToks, all this kind of stuff. A bunch of them are similar or the exact same sizes, but they just make them in different settings. And again, you have some templates and you've got all sorts of different things that you can use down here. Then print products, the Canva does have a print service. I used them for my Save the Dates a couple of months ago. Had no complaints, loved the whole process, definitely affordable, a great option, but they do more than that. Of course, they do posters, flyers, postcards, all of that stuff, which is great. You can design it in-app, order from the app, super user-friendly. I love they have marketing materials, gifts, stationery, clothing, and then cards and invites. Canva does also have a website, so you can create a Canva website for free. You can also pay for it to make it like your own URL or anything like that, but they have different templates for different kind of websites. Super awesome. I personally have never made like a complete website. I've done a couple of examples, so I'm not super versed in this, but there is, again, of course, the more sections. So you've got infographics, photo collages, desktop wallpapers, graphs, book cover. There's literally so many things that you can do. It's definitely fun to go through and explore this section, but most likely if you're coming to Canva, you know what you want to make. So just searching exactly what you want to make, like a marketing proposal type thing, and you'll get a bunch of those popping up. There's just, usually when you come to Canva, you know what you want to make, but if you're just looking around for inspiration or for fun, that is a great place to go. So very similar to the what are you going to design and all of this stuff, you can go into templates over here on the left side. So you can, in these templates, there are like keywords that you can choose from. So Chinese New Year, and it's going to open some different stuff for the Chinese New Year. And so those are super handy. Basically, this is just another log for where you can find other templates. So they've got their new stuff that has just been brought to Canva. Instagram posts, these are super cool. Presentations, Facebook posts, logos, all of the works, it's all in this little template section. You can even go nitty gritty. So once you click business, then there's so many options within business. You can switch to a prototype, and you can switch to a website, and you can switch to a letterhead. There's so much you can do. That's just under business. So then if we switch to social media, you can switch to all of these sections. For video, there are all of these sections. For marketing, of course, you've got your business card, flyer, logo, brochure, poster, all of that. Again, custom prints, I talked about all of their print options. Cards and invitations, again, same thing. And then education, if you want to create infographics and whiteboards and flashcards, all that kind of stuff. Literally, they have so many options. So that is going to be your template section. Then we've got the photos and the icon section. These just help you kind of discover what photos and icons are within Canva. And you can search through those, just their trending ones, or you can go in and look specifically for a house or for food or family or anything like that, which is super useful. Then we're going to go into our projects. This is where you can either see all of your projects, just the ones that you have made, or projects that have just been shared with you. So I personally always view mine in all projects, and then I move mine over to folders. Like I said, I have a folder for everything I've ever done. Some of them only have one item in them. I make a folder for every design. Every design goes into a folder. It's non-negotiable for me. So this is where I come find mine a lot of the time. You then also have your design. So these are just going to be, this is the way you can look at them. So you can look at them as folders. You can look at them as individual designs. You can look at brand templates. I don't have a ton of those. You can look at all of the images that you've uploaded, and you can look at all of the videos that you've uploaded here. Then we're going to go into tools. So the first one we're going to talk about is brand. This is a pro feature. It is one of my favorite features. I work for a company that owns 18 different radio stations, so being able to keep track of all of this is so useful. So I can upload all of our brand logos here. I've got 22 uploads in here. We've got 2 of our company logos, and then all of our radio station logos, plus this is a logo for a show. This is like a little element from a logo that we use pretty often. Super handy to be able to just have all of these. And I'll show you here in a second where these are going to be when you're working on your design, so they're super easy to find. Another thing that I really enjoy is the color section. So again, we have so many different radio stations that it's just nice to be able to keep it straight. So our My Country brand is all of these colors. Our Kiss brand is all these colors. These are our company colors, and then every single radio station, I have their colors loaded up. So when I'm working on a design for them, I don't have to go color match. I don't have to go look for their hex code. I can just select the color because I know it's right. This does take some time to set up, but it is so awesome once you have it done. If you have a pro account, you can also upload your own fonts to Canva. Of course, be sure if you're going to use it for commercial use that you have paid for the commercial use for the font. If you're going to use it for personal use, that's a different story. But all of these we are cleared to use, and what you can then do is set your text styles. So this text here, impact, is our MyTown Media text, so I have that as a heading. So anytime I click to open a new text box, it automatically opens in this MyTown Media font, which is super handy. And then I've got these two other fonts here that I use pretty regularly. Awesome to be able to add your own fonts. You can then also look at your brand templates. Like I said, I don't really use brand templates. It's not something that I have taken advantage of within Canva, so these are all just the ones that it made automatically when I created my account. And then we've got your brand controls. So you can restrict the color to where you can only make a design with your color. This is great for bigger businesses. We typically do a lot of proposals and stuff, and we like to gear those towards the businesses. And to do that, we kind of use their colors in the design, so I don't ever want to change that color control. Font control, you can also only use fonts that are in your brand settings if that's something that works for you. Again, not something that works for us. And then we've got design approval, which is something that I do use. I think it's super awesome if you've got multiple people on your team and they're kind of just learning Canva, or they're just learning the elements of design and they're going to need some edits to their design, or if you want to make absolutely sure that you're always sticking it to your branding. Setting design approval so that anybody who creates a design has to have it approved by the owner of the team is a super useful tool. I do have it set to approval of required, and then we've got conditions, so it applies to all designs. Super duper handy. And then you can also hit add new if you want to add another brand kit or a brand template. Then we go into design approvals. This is going to be where people do submit their designs for approval. Like I said, you do get a little notification up here. I also have Canva connected to my Slack account, so I get a notification from Slack as well. But if you're ever, for some reason, not seeing a design, we'll use one of these, for example. It still says needs reviewed, so what you can do is either quick approve and just automatically say, okay, this was a test example, so I'm not afraid to approve that. I know she's not going to do anything with it once I approve it. Or you can hit review. It's going to open the design. You can look at it really nitty gritty and find details. And the approval process is super simple. So you just hit review up here and you can give any sort of feedback. If you want them to make the edits, go ahead and hit give feedback, and it's going to tell them, hey, you're not able to download this yet, make these edits and then you can. Or you can go ahead and approve it, which automatically gives them the ability to download that design. Then we're going to go into our content. This is not something that I've ever taken advantage of, but it is something that I'm trying out now. I've got my Facebook account hooked to this, so I can post to all of our Facebook pages. The one thing I will say that I don't like about it is there are some pages or some posts that I need to go to all 6 of our My Country stations, and you can't do that. You can only post one at a time. You could copy and paste the schedule or the caption, obviously, but you can't set them to go to all of them at the same time, which is a little inconvenient. But if you just hit up here at the top, you can hit add new, add your post, select a post, and then what you can do is select your channel. So I'm going to hit Facebook page. These are all of the Facebook pages I have access to. There's a butt ton, so I'm just going to say Emily in Wichita. You can just type whatever you want to, and then you can either schedule it or save it as a draft and get that going. And to link them, what you're going to do is when you come to this content planner, you just hit connect social accounts here and click whichever one you would like and link those in there. This calendar does also show you holidays, which is really useful if you are a cheese company and you want to make sure that you post something on Cheese Lovers Day. Like, it's got a lot of stuff going on there. You can also add your own events to a calendar. So if I say, like, I'm going to schedule a giveaway for this day and I don't want to forget about it, I could do that as well. Super friendly. Obviously, you can skip forward in the future. Then we're going to go into Discover Apps. Canva has so many apps that it integrates with that you can use for a bunch of different things, which is awesome. I'm not going to go into the nitty gritty of all of these, but it's a great place to come to look at your apps and figure out more about them and what they can do. Then Canva also recently released smart mockups. So if you are trying to, like, if you have made an Etsy listing for a watch design or a watch background, you can select that and then pick a random picture and say, this is what I want in it. Boom, save mockup. just like that. You are going over to Etsy. You can download it, whatever you need. It's super convenient. They've got laptop, desktop, e-readers. And they've got shirts, phones. You can do print, packaging, apparel, and home and living. There's a bunch of options. It's great. Then at the very bottom here, we've got invite members. So my team is currently full. Like this says, you can add more people for $145 a year per person. So if I want to add 7 more people to that, it's going to be $145 per year times 7. So we try to keep our team to 5 just because it's the most cost effective for us, but there's that. And then we've also got the trash where you can see, I believe it's 30 days. All of the things that you've deleted in the past 30 days are going to be here. So I've got a few. There's also images and videos. So that is that. Now I'm going to show you the process of creating and downloading a design. When I say creating a design, I mean like the bare minimum. So we're going to go to create a design. I'm going to use an Instagram post size, super, traditional size. And then I like this. They're accepting new clients. That's great. It's a spot. So this is actually a grid. So what we're going to do here is going to elements, and then I'm going to hit photos. Say that we are making this post for a hair salon rather than like a spa type salon. So I'm going to change these pictures out. Obviously, if you have your own pictures and don't want to use Canvas, that's more than reasonable. Another thing you can do is if it's a grid like this and you're like, well, I don't want to see her arm, I want to see her face. If you double click it, you can drag the picture down and adjust it that way. And then let's say that their color is actually this like pink color over here. What we're going to do to create the circle in that pink color, select your circle, hit this little color box up here, and then I want to make sure it's the exact pink. So I'm going to hit add new color and select the eyedropper, come over here and drop it on the pink. And then obviously Really Great Salon needs to be changed. So we'll call this Happy Hair Co. Whatever. Happy Hair Co. Accepting new clients. I don't like this font in that position, so I'm going to change it to that. And then I want this font down here to be the same as that up there. So what I'm going to do is come up here to this paintbrush that's copy style and put it like that. Now it does change the curve of it, which is a little inconvenient, but if you just go back over here, you can curve it. I always make it the negative of that. So accepting new clients in Seattle, Washington. And then I'm also going to make the background that pink color, I think. I'm going to try it. Okay, I don't love it as the exact pink, but we'll try this like little lighter pink down here. Cool. So there we have that just thrown together super quick from a template. I'm going to move this a little bit. Then to download it, what you're going to do, it's a little confusing because you don't see download or save anywhere. You might think to go like file, save, and that just saves it into Canva, which is automatic. So you can either go file, download, and then it'll bring this up over here, or you can just hit share, download. There's 2 options there. There's multiple different download options. So you can do a JPEG, a PNG, a PDF standard, or a PDF print, an SVG, an MP4, or a GIF. The SVG is a pro feature. And then the difference between PDF standard and PDF print is this is great if you're sending like proofs back and forth and you don't want it to be a large file. The PDF print is going to be super detailed, a really big file. So that's like your final. So that's going to be like your final completed version. MP4 video is going to be anything with animated elements that you want to keep animated. GIF is a similar thing. It just won't have any sounds. And then your JPEG and your PNG. JPEG is definitely going to be a much smaller file size. PNG is going to be a little bit bigger file size, so you can get more details in there, which is why it's best for complex images and illustrations. You can then update the size. So if you want it to be like 1.5 times, it's going to be the same dimensions. The pixels are just bigger, or there's just more pixels. So I typically leave it as 1, but if you're really worried about the quality, you can of course up that as needed. Then we've got some other designs here. So transparent background is basically for this design. It's going to mean instead of this like pink here, it's going to be completely transparent, so you can overlay it on top of anything else. Compress file is going to make it, like it says right there, a lower quality design, a lower quality file. It's going to be smaller for you. And then you can also hit save download settings. So if you know every time that you go to download a design, most likely you're going to want it as a PNG at a regular size. You can hit save download settings, and then every time you go to download, it's going to be that format. Of course, you can change it, but there's that. And then if you don't want to have to save the design, go into Facebook, post it on Facebook. You can, of course, hit schedule now, hit the day, hit the time, select your account, type something, boom, schedule it, you're done without even leaving the Canva interface. A couple of other things while we are on this screen, there is the animation option, so you can either animate the entire thing and have it all be the animation, or you can select an element and hit animate and have just the element be animated. So up here we've got position, so you can of course make it left centered, middle centered, or right. You can have it at the bottom, the top, or the middle. You can also bring it forward to cover elements, or you can send it backwards. Additionally, you can send it all the way to the back or all the way to the front. Then we've got the, like I said, the copy style for the, I typically use it for fonts. It does work for pictures as well, just to make the fonts and styles and everything match perfectly. We've got transparency, so if I wanted this font to be less opaque or more opaque, you can adjust that. We also have links. So if you ever, this wouldn't work for social media posts because they don't have, like, links aren't active within social media posts. But if this was a PDF that I was going to send to a client, I could link it to happyhairco.com, set that up, and then when they click it, you can also underline it. It's still going to be linked as long as this little linked box is kind of colored over. It is still linked. It automatically underlines it because that's what most links are, is underlined, but you don't have to have it underlined. And then if you were to download this as a PDF, what it's going to do is you can click happyhairco.com. It's going to ask if you're cool to open it here. Happyhairco.com is for sale. If anybody wants it, go for it. But that's what that's going to look like. But like I said, that doesn't work on social media, so don't try to do that on a social media post. It won't work. If you leave it linked, if you want to use it for a PDF and a social media, and you just download it as a PNG, it'll look totally fine. It just won't be clickable. Another thing you can do is lock things. So say for instance, I was trying to grab the circle and I kept accidentally grabbing the pictures and it was driving me nuts. You could lock it. That way you could grab the circle. If you wanted to grab all 3 texts and not the circle, you could then lock the circle so that you could select all of it to do that. Then down here at the bottom, we've got notes, so you can add notes. This is going to be displayed in presenter view, so it's not super necessary for a social media post, but it is an option. You can, of course, zoom out and zoom in as needed. If you've got multiple pages to your design, you can hit this little thing down here to look at them in this view. If you want to see it in full screen, you can do that. This check mark down here is just because we downloaded the design, so it just says congrats, you did it. And then you can also, of course, ask any questions you have right here. So that is what I have for you guys on the first installment of how to use Canva from absolute basics to absolute extremes. Hope you guys enjoyed and learned a little bit about Canva and how to use it and how to kind of navigate the interface a little bit. Of course, I will have a bunch more instructional videos for you guys coming here soon. In the meantime, if you're working on some designs and you need some inspiration, definitely go check out my TikTok at Emily in Wichita, where I give a bunch of tutorials on exact designs that I'm working on. Make sure to follow me over there on TikTok and also subscribe to me here on YouTube so that you can check out the rest of the videos in the series as they come. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.